Hey there, Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So today in this video, I have even more exciting information to share with you guys related to the new upcoming characters coming to Honkai Star Rail in the near future. This includes some early kit details for CASTORICE and ANAXA, new info related to the element and path for both HYACINE and Mr. RECA, and also some crumbs regarding the playstyles for Phanon and Cypher as well. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. So, do you want to pull for cool characters like Madame Herta and Aglia, but you find the in-game prices too expensive? Well, fear not. Lootbard GG is the best top-up platform for all your gacha spending needs and provides a huge 20% discount compared to the in-game prices. Lootbar supports many big games, which includes Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and even Zenless Zone Zero. Let's try to buy the 3281 Shard pack for $40.48, which costs about $50 in-game for comparison. All I have to do is enter my server and UID and my purchase will be sent to my in-game account. After just waiting under a minute, I received my Shard pack top-up. Lootbar also has tons of positive reviews and cooperates directly with official Hoyoverse routing partners, making it very safe and secure. Just click on my link in the description or in the pinned comment to get an additional 8% discount today. With the sponsor out of the way, let's get right into the new info without wasting any more time. Starting with the early kit info for CASTORICE. So according to another new recent source that gave us some key points regarding the kit for CASTORICE, CASTORICE is stated to deal a combination of single target and also AoE damage, which could either mean she does blast damage or a combination of single target and AoE attacks. She also consumes the entire party's HP similar to characters like Jinglu, and the lower the HP CASTORICE and the rest of the party has the higher damage she deals. There are also other two interesting things mentioned about her kit, such as her ultimate activating when the HP drain reaches a certain threshold, and her Dragon Memo Sprite having a famous effect found on Blade, which could either be Blade's follow-up attack, which activates when he loses HP a certain amount of times, or also his popular ultimate, which deals damage based on the recorded HP Blade has lost in the entire battle. So overall, CASTORICE is looking to be a very high-risk but high-reward style unit in terms of her playstyle. Very similar to characters like Jinglu and Blade, she drains both herself and her entire party's HP to boost her damage output. And assuming this HP drain is significant enough, you likely want to run her with a healer instead of a preservation unit to offset this HP loss. So that's basically all of the new information we got regarding CASTORICE. Moving over to the early kit info for ANAXA. So according to some info from another news source, who provided us with some juicy early details related to ANAXA's playable kit. ANAXA's basic attack is pretty simple, as it just deals wind damage equal to X% of his attack to a single target enemy. His skill, on the other hand, deals wind damage equal to X% of ANAXA's attack to all enemies, and also deals X number of additional hits, with each hit dealing wind damage equal to X% of ANAXA's attack to a random enemy. Moving over to ANAXA's ultimate ability, which upon activation has an X% base chance to inflict the entire enemy team with an unknown status effect, and also delays their action by X%. At the same time, it deals wind damage equal to X% of ANAXA's attack to all enemies present on the field. Additionally, while the enemy is inflicted with the unknown status effect, when they take damage from the party's attacks, ANAXA deals additional wind damage equal to X% of his attack. This effect lasts for an X amount of turns. Then there is ANAXA's talent, where after hitting the enemy with a normal attack, skill, or ultimate, there is an X% base chance to add a random weakness which that enemy doesn't already possess. And somewhat related to that, ANAXA's technique causes him to unleash his weapon, and entering combat applies the weakness of the target to the attacker. Alongside the basic abilities, the source also provided us with some info for ANAXA's three major traces. Starting with ANAXA's first trace, which is pretty simple but also unique, as it converts his effect hit rate stat into critical rate. Next is his second trace, which is also pretty basic, as it basically increases the damage enemies take depending on the number of weaknesses they possess. And finally, there is ANAXA's third and final trace, which is the most interesting of the three, as it states that after hitting an enemy target with either a basic attack or skill, if the target has a maximum of 7 weaknesses, an enhanced skill is triggered. This enhanced skill doesn't consume any skill points and bounces X additional times. Additionally, this trace also restores energy similar to Luacha's auto-healing, which makes ANAXA get his ultimate up very fast. Aside from the base kit, the source also gave us some details regarding ANAXA's signature light cone as well. So according to the info, the light cone first increases the wearer's critical damage by X%. Furthermore, upon entering battle, the equipped character gains an X amount of energy at the start of each new wave. Additionally, each time the equipped character applies a weakness to an enemy, the damage the enemy takes is increased by X% and can stack up to a X amount of times. So overall, ANAXA is looking to be a very interesting unit. His kit is centered around inflicting the enemies with as many weaknesses as possible, with up to over 7 elemental weaknesses on a single enemy, which in turn not only increases the damage that said enemy takes, but also lets ANAXA activate his powerful enhanced skill from his third trace, which bounces between the present enemies and deals additional hits of damage. So you can basically think of him as a sub-DPS version of Silver Wolf. You also want to ult with him as much as possible, as the ultimate not only deals tons of damage to all enemies on the field while also delaying their actions, but it'll also let ANAXA inflict his special status effect on the enemies, which lets him deal additional hits of wind damage whenever the enemy takes damage from any of the attacks from your allies. So that's pretty much all of the current information that we have regarding ANAXA's kit. Next up, let's go over the element and path info we got for both HYACINE and Mr. RECA, and also the release date for the latter as well. First is HYACINE, who will be a limited 5-star physical healer, and she is said to follow the path of remembrance, which interestingly makes her our first limited healer that's not from the abundance path. Mr. RECA, on the other hand, is a 4-star remembrance unit, and is also said to be a healer. And according to the source, he is said to release during the first half of version 3.2. So, yeah, you can think of this being a similar situation to what happened with Gallagher and Lingsha, where Hoyo is releasing a 5-star and 4-star unit that share similar roles. Lastly, let's go over some small crumbs of info we got regarding both Phanon and Cypher before wrapping up this video. So according to the same source that gave us the info for HYACINE, Cypher is said to be a DPS unit that is centered around doing additional damage, while Phanon is said to be a physical destruction character who has the ability to take multiple actions. Additionally, the source also stated that there will be a very important character introduced in version 2.7 that will be related to either MEM or Cyrene. So that's pretty much all of the information that I have for this video. If you found the info in this video helpful, feel free to give it a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all the latest HSR news and information. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next video.